Hi and welcome. I'm Jessica Corman. I'm here to take you through some exercises that can help with back pain and hip pain and get you working on your core and your glutes. Okay, as we move into level 1B, we are definitely starting to get more challenged. So this could be where you start. But level 1B, now you kind of need to know the active core breath. You can kind of fudge it if you don't know, but you're gonna have a lot more success and build up your endurance much better, which is appropriate at this time with abdominal training. Depending on how easy it is for you to transition from level 1A to 1B, a quick note, if level 1A you required some of these helps, you definitely want to graduate away from them before you try level 1B, otherwise level 1B is going to be a bit challenging. That being said, if you needed these in level 1A, they can be really helpful to get you to this level 1B. So I'm first going to demonstrate it without the help, and then I will move into showing you what it would look like if you need a little bit of a half step to get you there. Starting in constructive rest, getting into our belly or abdominal breathing, remembering we have a pelvic floor. So we're going to start with the resisted exhale, and now we're taking that level 1A, which was just a single leg march, into bringing both legs up, and we're going to march actually from that more effortful position. So inhale, exhale, pelvic floor is involved, bring a leg up, new breath usually. To bring that second leg up. This is a difficult position to maintain, so my core is working pretty hard here. If this is too difficult and you start to feel your back hurt, you can always bring your legs microscopically more towards your chest. If you need more challenge, you can bring them microscopically more away, okay? I'm gonna march from here. This is a good challenge for me. So I'm gonna take that active core breath, and I'm still gonna do a resisted exhale to help myself be successful with these little marches. So it looks like making sure my pelvic floor is also engaging as I drop and lift my leg. Knowing that every inhale, my pelvic floor is descending just a little bit, but then that exhale should really help to root me into my own strength so that I am not having to arch my back or do any kind of poofing maneuver to get my abdominals to fire. When you're doing the coming into that both legs up position, there's a tendency for most people to want to go to tabletop. And the tabletop position is not necessarily wrong. I just find that it's distracting because now you're using a lot of leg muscles to maintain this position. So I find that most people are more successful letting those shins relax a little bit, which brings more effort and focus into this deep core position. Now let's say you're having a little trouble. So trouble in this case usually presents as pain or the Hulk. So what that means is when maybe you got the lifting one leg, right? We've moved past level 1A, but that second leg, now there's no points of stability left on the table. It's just your spine on the table. So what tends to happen at this phase is we either get a little bit of Hulk, ooh, that's a heavy leg, and then we can get our core engaged. But every movement, we want that core first strategy, right? The core starts the party and leaves the party last. So inhale, exhale, get it in. Keeping it in. Till everyone's home. Okay? Now, if you need a little assistance, I kind of lost my train of thought there. We can start to engage using the sliders again. So it's very similar to level 1A if you were watching that. So now, maybe you've probably mastered bringing one leg up, so we do that easily, but still facilitated just to make sure. Okay, and now this second leg, this hard leg to lift off, we can do the slide. So inhale, exhale, get the tummy going first, slide, and now it's a little simpler. Still from here though, we're gonna be using that active core breath and marching down and up. The other thing you might notice is now I'm much more at the end of my exhale, and that is partly because of this active core breath, and I am having to use a lot of effort to maintain this position. The Hulk is one of the most common ineffective strategies I see for abdominal activation. The Hulk itself is, it sounds like the Hulk, that's why I call it the Hulk. It's like, okay? And what you might see happened in my belly is that my belly came outward, okay? So, I'm gonna lift this heavy couch. My abdominals are firing, but I am using intra-abdominal pressure or a breath holding strategy to use them together. And that is a fine strategy if you are going to lift a piece of heavy furniture. It is not a fine strategy for lifting a leg. We would like to let our abdominals function without that added help so that they are able to actually shorten and do that by themselves, and then we can save the Hulk for that heavy piece of furniture that hopefully will only happen for a brief moment in time. This is abdominals level 2. Our main focus here is learning spinal stability and that core activation through a full range of motion of the hip. So this means we're actually kind of combining heel slides, if you were doing that exercise, with a march. You will need some kind of slidey effort. So I have my mat and my sliders here. Again, if you want to use socks on a hardwood floor or socks on a tile floor, anything where your legs are not meeting resistance in order to slide. We're going to come into our constructive rest, hook lying position. I'm going to go ahead and position my sliders so that I'm going to be able to find them with my heels when I come back down. So find your abdominal breath. We're going to move into that level 1B. So we're going to come up, bring both legs up, one at a time though. Now from here, active core breath. As I exhale, lower down, find my slider, and then full range. So ideally, there's no rest. So this is a work position for me. And I'm trying to practice letting my legs feel as light as possible. So they just plunk down, slide. This is working hard. This is just making the minimal amount of effort to get the movement to occur. And then always give yourself some help back down to your rest position. Generally by this time, if I am prescribing your exercises, you are now doing your exercises for time. So we're trying to get the most amount of continuous effort as you're doing the movement. And we can start to play a little bit with speed if you feel like you are getting really good activation, no hulking, no rocking in the spine or rotating in the spine. So what that looks like, again, I'm just going to run through it again, but going through a few more reps and with a little bit more speed. and then making sure to take a really nice rest after all that work. This is abdominals exercise level 3. This might look like something you've done before, like a bicycle type exercise, though we will not be incorporating any kind of crunch. It will be a simple layer on if you did level 2. Very, very similar. We're just going to hover the leg out instead of sliding the leg out. So you need to know your active core breath, and then let's just get started. In that constructive rest position, using our skills that we learned to get to that level 1B. So and then from here, a hover out. Now, this level is kind of a good challenge for me. So you might see how much effort I need to place into actually getting the abdominals to maintain. If I wanted to make this exercise still hard for me, but slightly easier, I could also change the trajectory of my leg. So that might look like which makes it much easier for me to maintain that nice resisted exhale breath. That was abs level 3 with Jessica Corman.